Hello, what is up, people of the digital world? I'm Stephen.
And I'm Kat. And you're tuned into
The Moonshot Podcast. Okay, woo! Wala bang clap dyan? So since first episode natin, guys, bakit hindi muna tayo magpakilala sa ating mga listeners?
Yes.
Sige, let's start with Kat.
Hello, I'm Kat, 21. You're all around creative, and welcome to the Moonshot Podcast.
Anong pili ka? Sino mauna? Yung guest o yung host?
Yung
Jack
guest.
and Boy.
Sige, tara.
Jack and Boy. Bato.
Take two.
Bato, pick. Bato, pick. Okay, so kung mauna.
So, anyway, hi, I'm Sophia. I'm 20. I'm from QC, and I'm here as a guest.
Woo!
Yay! And I'm Stephen. I'm your branding geek and color enthusiast. Marketing terms only. Ako nakala nila kung ano yan. So, welcome to our podcast. This is a Spacefellow Media original.
Yes.
So, you have, I think, by this time na lumabas to, napanood na nila yung introduction vlog natin.
Mm-hmm.
So, actually, even Sophie is part of our team. And you're gonna meet more of our teammates in the coming podcast and the coming vlog. So, stay tuned for it. But,
Wala ka
syempre,
bang shout-out dyan?
shout out.
Shout-out.
Hindi ko makita sila. Madilim doon sa booth nila eh. So, hindi natin sila ma-shout out.
Okay lang.
Shout out, Pro Team.
Shout out! Shout out!
Literal talaga.
Kasi di mo makita eh. Di mo alam kung sino na doon. Shout out talaga!
Alam mo yung kay Regine? Yung,
Ano?
yung shout-out, tapos bigla
There, Regine! Woo! Yung ganun.
Hindi, nag-shout. Sabi na,
Ano yun? Hindi ko alam.
Basta yun.
Wala na ako kwento ni Kat.
Sorry ha.
Sandali. Di naman yun yung topic natin ngayon. So, para sa those who are tuning in to our podcast right now, the next 3 episodes, including this, is a series on student life.
Yeah.
So, syempre, once in our lives, naging student naman tayo, and yung iba sa atin, currently students. So, paano ba natin malalaman na meron tayong nafe-feel na ganito or meron tayong emotions na ganito, and how can we cope with those emotions and struggles in our school, diba? So, ngayon, in our first episode, we're gonna discuss about burnout first.
Burnout.
Burnout.
Tama kasi mainit po yung panahon ngayon.
Tama.
Para tayo nababurn din. De joke. Pero kayo, naka-experience na ba kayo ng burnout? Kasi, kayo yung students ngayon sa team. Nasa school pa kayo. Ako naman working na.
Kala ko sabihin mo, ikaw yung prof.
Nakakainis. Hindi ako gano'ng katanda, hello. And then, pero sige.
Hindi sure.
Ha? Hulaan niya. Ayoko na. Ayoko naman. Magpapahula na
May
naman.
po kami, hulaan nyo yung age ni Stephen.
Wala. Magpapahula na naman tayo na edad. Yung huling pinagpahulaan ko, sobrang taas ng binigay niya edad eh.
Grabe.
To the point na inaway ko siya, hindi siya bumalik doon sa... Joke lang. Pero hindi, okay. Sige. I'll give my burnout perspective from perspective ng burnout from a working or a young professional. Pero kayo, as student, sige. Ano ba yung mga napagdaanan nyo ng burnout, and how did you manage to get out of it?
Actually, currently, I'm experiencing now this term. Kasi, I don't know if tamad ako or talagang burnout siya. Pero, lately it just doesn't feel like I don't feel motivated right now. Especially din
But
kasi
is it because yung load ng work?
I don't think it's the load kasi sobrang light ng load ko ngayon this term compared to last term. I think it's the schedule.
Yeah.
Because we were able to choose our schedules nung last term. It's just that medyo magulo ngayon since there's still a pandemic.
Yeah.
There's still on-site and online classes and every week it's always alternating for me because of the schedule I chose. So ayun, so medyo nabu-burnout ako because it just doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
Like I definitely have some regrets. Like I should have changed my schedule early on. Especially talked about it with my friends. Kasi namili kami, syempre. Parang we chose together. Para magkasama kami. Syempre. Irregular ako, by the way. Which is, it's fun, actually. It's fun to be irregular. You just have to be wise about what you choose and stuff like that. Ayun lang. Medyo tiring lang talaga.
Yeah, tama. Actually, ako na-experience ko rin maging irregular student. Ang nakaka-burnout sa akin doon, yung mag-relate dahil iba-iba yung classmates mo per class. So, yun. Ay, ikaw, Kat?
Not that I'm an irregular student. I'm very regular as a student. So,
wala po siyang dot sa noo.
wala.
Kasi hindi siya asado. Siopaw.
Ginawang siopaw. Hindi po kami sponsored, pero kung gusto mo kami i-sponsor.
Baka naman.
Baka naman. Pero for me, siguro, kasi yung pagkakaiba namin ni Sophie sa schools is that we are completely on-site. So for my freshman year, I was completely on-site. I had some online classes, but the second sem talaga, as in purely on-site lang siya. Parang isang online class lang. And then what happened was, here's what I hate about first year. Like, sobrang general kasi ng subjects.
Yeah.
So, diba? Gets mo?
Relatable.
So, it's not like you're studying anything in relation to your, it's not a major subject. So, yung nangyayari, tendency is, you're just going, parang senior high school ka lang ulit for another year. Tapos, yung nangyari sa akin was that, may mga terror profs pa kami during the second sem. So, a lot of us were really struggling. And I felt burnt out. Same way na parang, pagod ako, hindi ko alam kung tamad ako mag-aral. Like, I didn't exert the same effort that I did in the first sem. Kasi, ayun, ang hirap talaga eh. Like, just for my background, the first sem was really good. As in, nagka-DL standing ako there.
Wow.
Pero, nung second, dahil na-burnout ako ng sobra, nawala siya. So, parang, it's a process talaga. I think we can lead into that, into our next na parang, okay, now that we know that burnout is normal and something that we go through, siguro parang paano ba natin siya ma-identify? Kasi some people, they can be burnt out but they don't know that they're burnt out, diba? Or later on na lang nila ma-find out. Like, ano ba what's like a red flag to know na, oh, I'm burnt out? Like, what's something that, in your own experience, na ano nyo? Siguro we can start with Stephen.
Yeah. May naisip na nga ako eh. Hindi kasi from a perspective ng isang young professional or working adult, usually kapag nababurnout ka, ma-identify mo yun agad-agad. Dahil number one, sobrang pagod ka.
Yeah.
And then number two, parang feeling mo kapag naglalakad ka papunta sa office, kasi usually, ganun naman, naglalakad ka papunta sa office nyo, parang umapak ng paa mo sa building.
Parang you're dragging yourself.
Hindi, talagang you're dragging yourself and pinipilit mo lang yung sarili mo na mahalin kung anong ginagawa mo. Maybe because that is what will put food on your table. But it's not necessarily what your passion is. So parang yun yung isa sa mga identifiers ng burnout. Kapag ginagawa mo yung hindi mo gusto, saka hindi mo passion, madali kang parang nakakainis to.
Parang
bakit Monday na naman? Kaya ewan ko kung alam niyo yung song na ano, Just Another Manic Monday.
Oh
It's
my
actually
gosh.
a song regarding being stressed on a Monday because our work starts on a Monday. And, that is one of the main identifiers. If you drag yourself to your work, most likely nagsa-start na yung burnout mo. Because wala naman tao na nagsisimula sa isang bagay na parang ayaw nyo na eh.
Yeah.
Lahat naman ng tao magsisimula yan na, ay, okay to, parang wala namang problema dito, parang solve ako dito. Pero eventually, ayun, mafe-feel na nila na, ay, parang hindi ito para sa akin. So, yun. Yun, for me, ang identifier ng burnout.
I see.
Sige, ikaw naman, Sophie. For you, what's an identifier of burnout?
Mostly for me is yung wala akong ginagawa.
Mm.
Yun yung parang nararamdaman ko na, this is like demotivating. This isn't feeling,
Yeah.
this doesn't feel passionate, if that makes sense. Parang, I usually napupuyat ako pag nababurnout na ako. Kasi what happens is like, I try to keep moving. And if I don't keep moving, parang dun ko na napapansin na I'm really like burnt out na and tired and stuff like that. So yun. Yun lang naman yung sa akin. Like puyat and the not moving part. Like being idle is really the cue for me.
Yeah.
It's a bit ironic, no? When you think about it kasi, it's like, from Stephen's point, it's like you're dragging yourself, or you literally are dragging yourself
Yeah.
to your work, to your studies, but then it feels like you're not doing anything.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it's a very weird ground to be in.
Yeah. Pero paano ba natin, sige, let's move forward naman. So, parang na-describe na natin ano yung burnout, no? Pero as student, sa tingin nyo, what can you say to our student audience? How can they overcome the burnout?
So like what I said, yeah, for me it's like not moving. So I guess what you can do is like find something to keep doing something. Like find a hobby that you can work on,
Yeah.
like you can just play around with, explore pag wala ka nang nagagawa. Or pag madami kang stuff, you can just, take a break. Yun.
Actually, yun yung gusto ng student life.
Yeah.
Kasi, pag nababurnout ka na as a student, hindi mo kailangan magstay dun sa, ito lang yung box ko, dito lang ako.
Yeah.
You can have the freedom to experiment things and go to other places or do other things that you love. Or if you don't love it, try mo lang rin.
Yeah. And it's the mindset din naman. Like, parang, meron kasi yung mga students ngayon, syempre, is parang, wala naman akong time. Long time. I have so much requirements. Pero, syempre, you have to, parang, push yourself to have time for that thing na gusto mong gawin. So, yun lang.
I have a question. Like, siguro, since it's very general lang, as in, straight to the point na parang, if you're burnt out, you really have to find that balance.
Yeah,
diba?
The
So,
balance.
like, what are things, like, siguro, to answer the question, how can we keep ourselves from burning out? Like, how did you guys cope with burning out? Like, were there any hobbies that you did? Anything that really stuck around until now, didn't work for you?
Yeah.
Siguro I can start.
Yeah, go.
For me kasi, my course is very general. I'm studying communications, so I'm a designer, and it's so easy to get burnt out. Siguro just katulad ng first year, studying general stuff, to the point na I had no time to do the same things I did previously. Like, I was homeschooled, so arts talaga lahat. Then, pagpasok ng college, parang, wala na akong oras. Puro aral na lang. And for me, how I really cope with burnout was that I gave myself time and space to do what I love doing. So, that's how I started my brand is Prodcat. So I have an Instagram page where I post designs.
Follow nyo na siya.
So follow me, prod.cat.
Instagram.
So I started with this Instagram sticker where I asked people, give me a song, I'll create a gradient. And it really kept me going when I was tired with studies. Kasi ayun after that space na pagod na ako mag-aral, parang I'm like, ay, pwede ako mag-design. I love doing this. And at the same time, it allowed me to grow.
Yeah.
So, ayun, you guys, kayo naman.
For me, to cope with burnout naman, I don't actually have one like hobby na parang ganun. It's more of watching series.
Yeah.
Watching series. I mean, we all do naman.
What's your
pero,
favorite series now?
Come on, it's always Friends.
Yes!
It's always Friends. It's always gonna be my all-time
Friends
favorite.
ba? Akala ko Enteng Kabisote.
Oh my gosh. Lost na yun!
Sorry.
Time mo yan kay Steve.
Oh, wow. Grabe. Nabutan na rin naman na ho nila yun. Masyado nilang pinapatanda.
Luma nga din yung Friends ha? Anyway, so, sobrang relatable kasi ng Friends. So, it keeps me, like, it's my comfort zone. Like, when I feel stressed, I feel lonely, sometimes, of course. I just put on Friends, feel better, and I just feel light. Tapos, I feel the motivation to do more things na.
Yeah.
Parang mas naiisip ko yung gusto kong gawin when I'm watching Friends.
True. Ako naman, as a creative, ito na medyo nakakatawa. Mas gusto kong mag-work on anything creative pag nasistress ako. Pero hindi siya yung work na parang inordain sa'yo. But rather, work siya na gusto mo lang gawin. Parang side hustle.
On your own time.
Wala rin siyang bayad. As in, no pressure at all. You just wanna, edit things, ganun. And recently nga, na-discover ko na magandang hobby kapag nasa sad ka or nababurnout ka, maglaba ka.
Wow.
Talaga ba?
Totoo. Hindi, kasi ngayon ako nag-alaba sa amin. So, parang, kasi iniisip mo yung, ito yung una mong gagawin, ganyan.
Parang these are the whites.
Talaga explain ko na paano maglaba.
Yes, go. So, since we kind of jumped to like how we've coped with burnout, and identifying burnout, siguro we can kind of go to the middle ground kasi it's lesser talked about in terms of, kasi we talk about start and end usually na parang burnout starts with this, burnout ends with this, but we rarely talk about the middle part of the race, which is always the toughest part. So, there comes a point where when we're burnt out, things don't feel the same anymore, diba? It's like when you have your favorite food and then you eat it all the time and then you're just magsasawa ka.
The umay factor.
Yeah.
Oo, the umay factor. So, based on that, what do we do pag nauumay na tayo?
Maghanap ng atsara.
Wow.
Joke.
Siguro may onting suka, toyo.
Tapos may mga sibu-sibuyas. Toyo tsaka patis, maghaluin mo. Tapos Mariosep, sakit po sa pantog at sa bato. Abutin natin lahat. Huwag po natin sundin yun.
Tapos yung ulam mo adobo.
Oo. Wala na. Dance ka na bukas.
Grabe.
Hindi, pero yun nga. Tanggal umay. Sige, ako na-experience ko na yun. So, paano matanggal yung umay sa something? Or, in general, usually, ang ginagawa ko is, number one, I choose not to do what I always do.
Yeah.
Kasi it's an opportunity for my mind to be cleared out pag nagre-rest ka or nagte-take ka ng break. And number two, don't stop doing anything.
Yeah,
Parang yun yung, for me personally, yun yung common mistake na naisip ng mga tao na kapag take a break, wala na, hilata ka na lang. Pero ang di namamalayan, the more na wala kang ginagawa, the more na naaalala mo yung lagi mong ginagawang trabaho. So, nakakatawa din. So, ako, yun ang ginagawa ko. I take a break, but I don't do what I usually do.
Yeah.
So, example, in a day, pumunta na lang ako ng mall, ganun, or kung lagi ka nagpupunta sa ganitong branch ng mall na to, doon ka naman sa mas malayo.
Tama.
Parang ililigaw mo lang yung sarili mo.
Yeah.
Yun. Okay,
I think the word is palate cleanser, diba?
Yeah.
Sakto, umay, palate cleanser.
Yeah.
Siguro to build up off of that, tama, it really is adding something new to your routine. Kasi yung nakaumay sa lives natin as professionals, as students, is the routine. Kasi syempre, ma-establish natin kung kailan tayo gigising, kung ano gagawin natin sa ganitong oras, anong discussion board, ganyan. So, to add something new, for me, the way I add something new, or the way I palate cleanse ang umay, ang ginagawa ko is similar to Stephen, adding something into my routine. So, it can be something as simple as I want to make coffee or I want to have
Yeah.
merienda.
Yeah.
I usually have it at this time. Pwede mo gawin, okay, 5 minutes later. Parang something new. Parang ma-shock yung system mo na parang, oh, okay, I'm doing something new. I need to get up and actually think about it. So, yeah. Yun. Ikaw, Sophie.
Very same.
Yeah.
Very much the
Mga
same
creative.
thing. Yes. Okay, sige, for example, like, I drive to school every other day.
Yeah.
And, syempre, same lang naman yung route. So, like, there was actually a time na parang, ito na naman. Ito naman dadaanan ko, same people, same buildings, and everything. Tapos, parang, at one point, sabi ko, try ko lang din. Yeah, try ko lang din maiba yung way para to spice things up or something like that. Ayun, so...
So, dumaan ka sa bakod.
Hindi, nagbarko ako. Joke lang.
Pasig Ferry.
Ayun, so, yun. I was able to feel motivated din. Kasi, parang, okay, so ganito pala yun. Parang
Yeah.
mas mabilis pala dito, tapos meron din yung mas mabagal dito, or pag traffic dito, pwede ako dito. Ganun. So, it's nice to have choices and a variety of like
Yeah.
ways to do things.
Ayan. Kaya nga lagi sinasabi, kung ayaw mo ma-burnout, add value and add options to your life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that you can have vitality. Parang Unilever. sorry. Hindi, pero totoo yun. Kahit Unilever man yan. Okay, brand mention.
Oops.
Baka naman. Product
by.
intrusion.
Joke
Joke.
lang.
And then, so, yun. Totoo naman yun. You need to add value and options to your life so that you can have vitality. Kasi, mahirap na stuck ka lang sa isang lugar.
Yeah.
Actually, nangyari sa atin ngayon. Hindi ko na-elaborate ho kung ano nangyari. Nangyari ho sa amin this year.
Yeah.
I believe we were stuck in a place, but we were eventually set free in that way so that we could express more ourselves and not feel burned out by what we were just doing before. So, kumbaga,
Parang
there's...
cycle na lang.
Yeah. Right now, here in Spacefellow Media, we have options on what to do creatively for not just ourselves, not just dahil passion namin to, but also we want to share stories from our city and beyond and interests as well sa digital world.
And just
Diba?
like our slogan, it's a new space to break old rules.
Yeah.
Ganon din with burnout. You really need to put yourself in a new space. And ano rin kasi, diba, another issue with burnout is there are people who are burnt out for a very long time.
True.
Diba?
Yeah.
So, how do we phrase this? If, say, hindi natin ma-avoid yung burnout, what encouragements can you give to our audience or even your younger self in a like think of your most burnt out situation ever? What would you tell them now, knowing these realities that we've discussed na it cannot be avoided, it will always occur, we need to keep moving forward? What would you like to say to them as an encouragement?
Ako sagutin ko na lang for my younger self. Iiyak mo lang yan, bes. matatapos din yan. Ganun. Hindi, pero on a serious note, siguro I'll tell my younger self na you'll be burned out, but the burnout will lead for you to break out of your shell.
Yeah.
Right.
It's amazing.
Surprising. Wait lang, surprising. Naalala ko, pag nagluluto nga pala, okay, luto-luto na yung podcast namin. Pag nagluluto nga pala tayo ng tahong, di ba? Kailan bumubukas yung tahong?
Pag mainit.
Pag mainit.
Yeah.
Ayun po, bao.
That's it for Spacefellow.
Kayo na mag-analogy. Okay, see you tomorrow. Bye. Hindi kayo.
Okay, so yung sa akin naman, parang, first of all, before you get into anything, I encourage you guys to ask yourself, like, is this something you want? Is this something you want to do?
May phone-in question. Pag inas ba daw yourself, kailangan nakatingin sa salamin. Joke.
Anyway, kay Stephen, tama na. Joke
Okay.
lang. Joke lang. Then, ayun, I mean, it's a cliche you hear from your parents, from everyone, like, choose something you want to do and be passionate about it. Pero it's really true. Like, if you want to do something, if you want this career path, let's say, for example, then go for it. Don't let anything hold you back. Kasi, yun din yung motivation mo to keep going eventually. Ayun.
Yeah.
Cat.
So, for me, kasi, hindi ko ma-recount kung ilang beses na burnout. Dami. Grabe. Hindi pa working.
Music nga, music.
Siguro, for me, it is, if you have something in mind that you want to do, always commit to it. Kasi, there's a saying within the art community, there are people who want the product but not necessarily want the grind itself. Na people want to be animators, people want to be on top of whatever company they want to be in, but they don't want to put in the dirty work. As my mom would tell me, if you want something, you will start from the bottom of the bottom and you have to work your way up.
Yeah.
And part of working your way up is the process of dealing with having the highs and lows. Essentially, parang think of it as a race na you start out very passionate, very energetic, but then later on, diba, towards the middle, you get tired, and then when you look to the back and you look forward, you don't know where you are kasi nasa gitna ka. And the end is still very, very far. So when it comes to burning out, in a sense, you really need to stick to it. Kasi for me, as someone who is wanting to be a creative in the long run, I really did decide for myself kasi sinabi sa akin ng parents ko, like, wag ka mag-arts. Typical Filipino thing. But then sabi ko, no, I want to be an artist.
Ay, nag-agree.
Yan, direct
Nag-agree
namin.
po kaming staff.
Shout out.
Shout out.
Sino man po siya?
The mystery man.
Hindi, pero seryoso, ganun, ang daming hurdles din na past things that you've experienced, that you've heard from people.
Yeah.
Always have your dream at the back of your head. Hold on to that. Find a way to, ganun lang. Always find a way to recall it. For me, it's listening to music, going back to my journal, my old journal writings. And siguro for you guys, like, what's a way that you remember your dreams, that your passions? Like, how do you recall it?
Mine started really young because I've always, for context, I'm a vet student, doctor in veterinary medicine. And it's my cat, joke lang. And so, when I was younger, I always loved animals. I know it sounds so simple, it's so, parang, yun lang yun. It's really my passion to, like, for example, when I see shelters, animal shelters, like, I really want to be able to help those. So, it started with that, seeing social media posts na, kawawa tong aso na to, ito yung nangyari and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, it hurts to see those things. Like, I really am very compassionate towards animals. So, ayun, that's how it started with mine.
Ikaw naman.
Hindi, ako seryoso, naisip ko lang talaga. Ito gusto ko. Ito dream ko.
Yeah.
I never wrote it. I never thought. Because nung time namin, not so long ago, siguro mga 2002, very conservative ang mga tao na pag tinanong ka, anong gusto mo pag naging matanda ka? Pag lumaki ka, stop mo, bakit doktor?
Ako maging nurse.
Maging gano'n.
Dentista.
Parang yun yung norm noon.
Yeah.
Kaya ako, hindi ko siya nasettle sa buhay ko na, ito gusto ko dahil ito yung dream ko. Naiisip ko lang. Actually, kaya ako naging creative. Dahil meron kami pinupuntahan na mall, every time na nandun kami, meron silang mga theme. Kunwari, pag summer, Christmas, gano'n. Tapos may mga posters silang sinasabit na parang, ito yung theme namin pag Christmas. Natuwa lang ako doon sa artwork. Doon lang yung nagsimula kung bakit gusto ko maging creative. Pero una ko talagang gustong maging pangarap, maging may-ari ng mall na yun. Seryoso.
Uy, pwede yun
Yes, seryoso.
SM.
Macalalad. Tama. On brand.
Pero yun, kaya hindi siya nag-settle in sa akin na, ay, ito gusto ko maging. But rather, naisip ko siya na, pwede ako maging ganito. Very different from you guys. Ikaw, Kat.
It's siguro, if we could summarize it up, when it comes to dealing with burnout, it's just, if you have a dream, hold on to it. But remember, with great power comes great responsibility. So, I guess that wraps up our episode 4, Burnout, today.
Yeah.
So, any final words, last comments?
Gusto ko pa ng samgyup.
Ay, wala. Mamaya pa.
Baka may
Marami pa tayong isushoot.
Mamaya?
Mamaya.
Marami pa tayong isushoot
Sangyup.
kahapon na.
Sponsored by Kiss Stephen.
Ay! Walang masabi. Ay! Tumakbo yung motor. Sige. So, as we wrap up, siguro ang gusto ko na sabihin is, there are certain times na your dreams will feel na nakakapagod siyang habulin.
Yeah.
But maybe you need to check, is this really my dream? Or is this the dream of others? That will cause you burnout.
Yeah.
Kapag iniisip mo yung dream ng iba para sa'yo,
Yeah.
tapos hindi mo naman siya dream. Well, alam niyo naman, we're Asian, we're not Bishan. Sabi nga sa TikTok. Pero, as we grow out of the shell, minsan hawak mo na rin yung buhay mo eh. Hindi naman namin sinasabi magdroga ka dahil yung pangarap mo. No, wag po. Mali po yun.
Don't do drugs.
Pero, you know the dream in your heart that you wanna do. And siguro for it to be fulfilled, and for you not to be burned out, look for people who have the same interests.
Yeah. Environment is so important
Environment
talaga.
is so important.
Yep.
Lalo na kung nabe-burn out ka, emotional support kailangan natin lagi.
Yes.
Okay? So, I think we're good with our first episode. But before we end, syempre, since this is our first episode, tingnan natin kung titingin siya. We wanna thank our EP, the one who produced the 3 episodes and more of our podcast. We wanna thank Dailo, Alegado. Ayun, nandun siya. Kaway ka naman. Kahit di ka makikita dito. Ayan. Okay na daw. Okay. Overtime na daw tayo. So, thank you. And, ayan. Pati yung, thank you, guys. Makikita na lang niyo po sila in the next podcast natin. And, we side comment sa production. So, we'll invite them to be here as one of our guests. And then you'll get to hear also their thoughts about things. So, we hope that you enjoy this first episode of the Moonshot Podcast. So, that's it, fellows. Thank you for tuning in to the Moonshot Podcast.
And don't forget to follow us wherever you're listening to us through this podcast and connect with us through our social media pages at spacefellow.ph.
Yun. And thank you, Sophie, for being here. Makakasama pa natin si Sophie sa mga iba naming content in the coming months and weeks. Wow. But until then, continue breaking the norm and peace out.
Peace out.
Bye. The Moonshot Podcast is a Spacefellow Media original. You can check out the video from this podcast on our YouTube channel. Just go to youtube.com/@SpaceFellowMedia. See you there!